You want me to put that on my Tudor?
This one's wife. You've failed. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The Princess of Wales has recently been in hospital for abdominal surgery. King Charles had a prostate examination and treatment, and then it was revealed that he had a cancer diagnosis. William has been helping out, looking after his wife and the children. Harry dashed over the Atlantic to come and see his father. Other members of the royal family have done what they usually do. Get on with it. This one's wife decided it was appropriate for her to be photographed driving in a gas-guzzling SUV, that's a standard phrase for that these days, with her rictus grin plastered across her idiotic face, whilst waving around a ceramic coffee mug. As I explained in a video yesterday, her narcissism reacted instinctively to compel her to have those pictures released, as ever, taken by Backgrid, to ensure that she was spoken about. She succeeded. They appeared in the Mail, albeit she received lashings of challenge fuel, as at the last time I looked, there were over 4,400 comments, the vast majority of which were criticising her and slating her for her obvious desire to bring the spotlight back onto her. Thousands of people, and many, of course, who didn't comment, seeing very clearly that she cannot stand for the spotlight to be somewhere else. Thus, as a consequence of the news being about other people, she sought to bring it back onto her. And as I mentioned, she wasn't able to do so with the release of a great film. She wasn't able to do so with an excellent piece of music. She wasn't able to do so with an announcement with regard to her latest novel or some development from entrepreneurship or an innovation that would help the human condition. No, it wasn't predicated on any brilliance or greatness or talent. It was simply, here I am, looking like I need a cushion under my arse as I drive a Range Rover. Now, everybody talk about that. It is laughably pathetic, but is to be expected from this narcissist whose talent can be summed up as the square root of fuck all. And thus, this was her attempt to bring the attention back onto her. And it worked to the extent that she was spoken about, but did it do enough to cause the attention in relation to other people to be snuffed out, so that she shone so brightly that they disappeared into obscurity? No. She roundly failed, which is as a consequence of just how pathetic she is and the complete lack of ability and talent. Kate Manzi writes in The Times, Camilla says King is doing extremely well in the circumstances. The Queen, appearing in public for her first working engagement since the King's cancer diagnosis, said on Thursday night that he was doing very well. Arriving at Salisbury Cathedral, she told Ben Abbott, 40, of Wiltshire Air Ambulance, he's doing extremely well under the circumstances. We are very touched by all the letters and messages. That's very cheering. Do you hear that scream in Monty Shit Show? The Times reporting on the fact that the Queen was out and about, continuing undertaking an engagement. Weather stopped her planned helicopter flight, so she had to do a 6-hour round trip in a car. Yeah, she's driven by somebody, she's not doing the driving. But at 76 years old, it's not the most comfortable thing to have to do, but she got on and did it because she didn't want to cancel her appearance to let people down, and because she didn't want people thinking it was cancelled in relation to something about the King's condition. She didn't want to disappoint the various charities that were there and that she was supporting and that were being celebrated during the evening. But it also demonstrates that there's reportage about the Queen doing that, and of course references made to all of the letters and messages that have been sent to the King and Queen in relation to the King's diagnosis. Camilla was greeted by a fanfare as she entered the cathedral. The only fanfare that this one's wife has is the one that's generated either in her own mind or when Harry's releasing last night's chicken jalfrezi. For most of this week, the Queen's been by the side of the King, aged 75, after Monday's announcement that he'd been diagnosed with cancer. On Wednesday night, he had a phone call with Rishi Sunak, British Prime Minister, from his office in his private estate in Norfolk. Palisade said he would resume his weekly audiences with the Prime Minister as planned later this month. He made phone calls to other dignitaries and has been attending to his daily red box of government papers. On Wednesday, the Prince of Wales resumed his official role after taking time off to assist his wife with her recovery from abdominal surgery. He will now spend next week's school half-term holiday at home with his wife and children before returning for more events. The Princess Royal, 73, on Thursday continued with her busy diary of engagements and thanked well-wishers as she visited a pony centre at Wormwood Scrubs. The indomitable Princess Royal carrying on, putting some stick about. Meeting the Princess, Martin Clunes, the Doc Martin actor and patron of the British Horse Society, said that lots of people had passed good wishes on to Anne for her brother. She knew our thoughts were with the King, he added. James Hick, the Society's chief executive, said, "People were talking about the news about the King and saying we all wish him well. It literally peppered around every conversation we had. It was such a warmth for the royal family." Do you hear that scream again from Monty Shitshow? The British Horse Society has obviously got such a close connection and support from the royal family. His Majesty the King is someone who is very close to our hearts, and we wish him well, and we touch wood that he's going to be good. Anne kept the mood light by brandishing a large knife before cutting a cake celebrating the Pony Centre's 35th birthday. "I hope you've all had a chance to see this cake because it really is stunning," she said. "The instructions on it are you will eat it if I cut it, because otherwise it's just legalised vandalism. Enjoy the cake." And there we have an article, and it's replicated in other news items, showing that the royal family are receiving warmth, messages of support, that there is many people sending their best wishes to the King. And what do you have? The Queen getting on with things, going to Wiltshire. The Princess Royal, as ever, carrying out her engagements. It's business as usual. And the pathetic attempts of the Richter Skrin Harridan from the court of Monty Shitshow to deflect from all of this has singularly failed. That whilst it's reported on, it comes with derision. It comes with criticism. It's all challenge fuel. And her attempts to overshadow the King's diagnosis by making it all about her have once again failed. She really is an abject loser. The necessity of bringing the attention back onto her is driven by her narcissism. She just cannot help but do it. It's a knee-jerk instinctive response. But the attempts to overshadow fail, as this article makes patently clear. People dismiss her, criticise her, but their warmth, their praise, their appreciation is towards Queen Camilla, towards King Charles, towards Princess Anne, towards Prince William. And all of that really does get under the skin of the narcissist that is this one's wife. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.